Hello everybody, this is Budrich. It's a new episode of Let's Linux and I call this one Multimedia 1 Music. And today we are going to start a little mini series again about multimedia. And multimedia was a buzzword in the 90s that everyone was saying, but no one really knew what it meant. But I think it's an accurate description of what I want to do in this little multimedia series. And I know it's a very corny word. I'm semi-ironic or whatever. What we want to do is to display the media title here at the far right of our polybar as a module, a hook module that will display either the currently playing track or the currently playing movie, and we will also be able to see if it's playing or if it's paused. It will change colors, just like my title bar changes color when it should actually change color there, like this. When my main window here, Sublime, is active, then the title bar is white, otherwise it's gray. And the same will be with the media title. When it's paused, it will be grayed out like this, and when it's playing, it will be white. That's one part. I also want us to be able to have the same key bindings. I talked briefly about this in the end of the last video. So we can use the same key bindings, global key bindings, to control the media player. So we don't have to, one thing, we don't have to activate the media player itself, and we also don't need to have different keys for different media players. It will be we will know which player to send the commands to. So there are a lot of things we need to do to achieve this small little effect, but it's worth it, trust me. I've been using this for a couple of weeks. I've been working on this and it feels really nice. But we have to settle on a couple of things. And first, multimedia. It's music, and everyone knows what music is. We need a music player, we need a movie player, and I have already shown you some things about MPV, so we will use that as the movie player, and I think that is the best movie player. And then there is also images, which as you know, I think sxiv is the best image viewer, and we have already set that up. So that can be that was like the multimedia 0 episode, and that is already done. We will not do anything more with sxiv, but I think I also mentioned that I like to have all these, the music, the images, and the movies in this B container here. And then I have set it up so I have 3 different split sizes like this, so I can... Oh no, my cow disappeared. War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. 1984/2018. So we will set up in this first episode music. We will start just make some basic setting up with CMOS, which is the music player I have chosen to use in this series, but it's also what I'm using personally. I just switched to this, not even a week of usage, but I can say that I like it a lot more than NCMP/CPP that I was using before, and none of the GUI alternatives. I don't Rhythmbox and Lollipop and those. I can't work with them, and these are much more powerful and faster and more reliable and very much easier on system resources. So we will look into CMOS today. And what we will set up is, of course, just get CMOS up and running, adding some music to the library, setting up a window rule so it will spawn here. It's very easy. We did that in sxiv. That will take 30 seconds to show you that. And then we will make a key binding in i3 to launch CMOS with i3 runs. We can toggle it with one hotkey. And then we will also add commands to play, pause and skip tracks in CMOS by using the CMOS remote command. Then we will extend this function to be able to see if it is MPV or CMOS we want to send commands to. But in this video we will just focus on CMOS, get that up and running, because we need to have something to work with. And I think that is basically how far we get in this video, and it is quite a lot of things to show you. So let's first, we could actually take this window, I guess. Let's send it to workspace 1, clear. I have just installed CMOS and I have cleared the settings. So this is the default, I don't know why it resized it like that there, but it did. This is the default view of CMOS, kind of. Or it is the default view. It's just an empty window here. We should start by adding some music to CMOS here, and you can press colon, just like Vim. Think Vim or VI when you're using CMOS. A lot of the same commands are valid here. And here you can add, that is add music, then you just enter a path and you can tab complete here. So sound, music, this is my music directory. I add that, and there, now I have a lot of music here to listen to if I want to. And just like NCMP/CPP, CMOS have different views like this. This is the default first view, the tree view I think it's called. So you can browse albums, and then in the second pane you have the tracks. Then you have, I like this view the most, the library view. Here you have all files in just one long list, but you can easily filter this list and stuff, but we will not look into that at all. Then 3 here, this is some kind of playlist. I haven't looked into this at all. Play queue, I guess you can queue up files and see which ones are in the queue here. And then you have some browser. These are filters that you can apply to your list, and you can create your own. This is a very interesting. The 7th, if you press 7, then you get to this 7th view. Here you can see all the key bindings, and you can actually change the key bindings in this view by just hitting enter. Then you can see the command line here, it changes, and here you can change the keys if you want to. And they are in effect immediately, so you don't have to restart, don't have to go into any config files or anything. Of course, all these settings are stored in dot files, so you can add them and edit them from there, and you can create themes and such also. And color themes are in a separate file if you want to, so you can have different profiles like that. It's very, very easy to customize. And I just want to show you this really quick so you get the ID. You can, for example, this is the window background color here. If I change this default to red, for example, then it immediately changes the background to red. We can go into command mode again, and you have history just like in probably Vim and bash and everything by up and down. So you can go back to the last command, change that back to default, and there, we're back. And the coolest thing of everything is that you can set these settings by just entering the command mode from any view, and then set, what was it now, win color window BG is equal to red, for example. And there, it changes in this view too. So you can very do fast customizations in CMOS. It's really nice to work with. Okay, but now we have launched it, we have added our music. One thing that is important, don't close CMOS by your with i3. I have in my setup I have F4, it kills a window. If you do that, if you kill a window without exiting CMOS properly, then that might get weird. So you should quit it just like you quit Vim. Just see Stack Overflow. Most popular question on Stack Overflow all time. How to exit Vim. :Q or even :QV. W. No. I thought, yeah, maybe it's WQ you can write. I'm not really a Vim user myself. Whatever. And then you can see here now in the bottom right corner, you can see the last I3 key I pressed. So if I press F4 here, that will kill that terminal window. And you shouldn't do this in CMOS, because you should always exit it with a option like that. That is something to keep in mind. If you by mistake doesn't exit it properly, then I suggest you kill it with the kill or kill all and CMOS. Okay. First we can copy this key binding here, so we can launch CMOS from i3. I have this i3 run section here. I have this key binding already, but I commented it out so we can add one by ourselves here. And here you can see, oh, I also had this duplicate here. This is a normal without, you see, I have covered this in a couple of videos that I use variables a lot in my i3 config file. Otherwise, this line could be this short. But this is how long it is without any variables and such. But what it does, it mod 4, that is the super key. So super key plus D, it will execute without any startup ID, i3 run. And I covered that in the video minimize windows in i3. I will link it in the show notes. i3 run here searches for a window with the instance name CMOS. If it doesn't find that, it executes this command that is within single quotes here. URxvtc. We should end this line with a single quote also. URxvtc, and name here, that will rename that URxvtc instance to CMOS, which is what we're searching for here. And it will also execute the command CMOS in that window. So if I save here and reload i3 config, and now if I hit super and D, it launches CMOS, and I can toggle it now with my i3 run here. You can do that. That is why I call the video minimize windows, because you get basically the minimize function. Okay, let's quit it again and add also a window rule so it spawns in the B container here. Multimedia. Yeah, here is that minimize windows. Multimedia title. Here is the window rule. I prepared it before I made the video here. Go to my window rules section, and we can actually add it here at the top. I don't want to. Same here. I use variables here too, or we can actually paste it here. Here is my normal CMOS rule. This is how it looks like without any variables. It is actually not that long now, that when I think about it. Maybe these variables are overkill. But no, I don't. I like them like that. And I think this will work. If we reload now, and if I open CMOS now this rule should take effect, because it will have the instance name CMOS, and it will execute i3 fyra and move that window to the B container. There. Okay. This is how I like it. And we will not do that in this video, but it's very easy to set up so it will automatically spawn in this view instead of the first one. And it's very easy to customize how the list looks like and stuff, but we will not do anything like that, at least not in this video. Okay, so if I play a song here in CMOS, let's just take this blood track here. We can see that it's playing by this angle bracket here, and the timer is running. I don't remember the command to pause. It's player next pause. There, this is how it looks like when it's paused. You get this pipe symbol and the timer stops. But to do this, you either have to use the key bindings that you could see in pane 7 here, or the commands in CMOS window itself. But it's very, very easy to add these commands to key bindings in i3. I want to show you, let's do this, or not here, but here. There are 3 manual man pages for CMOS. The first one you should look at is CMOS tutorial. It's a very short but very good little getting starting guide here. You read this in a minute or two, just so you know how to use it. Then there is also this real man page, man CMOS, which is much thicker and have everything you need to know, but yeah, it's very, very good, very well written documentation. But then you also have this thing, CMOS remote, and this is a separate command, but you get it for free with CMOS, you know. Not like MPD, you need to install MPC and stuff, but here you get everything in one package. You should get that at least. At least I did on with Pacman. And CMOS remote, that is what is used to send commands to CMOS, and you can send any command that you can find here in this. So we could even send the command to set the background color like we did before with the CMOS remote. But we're not going to do that now, but you can send any command, and you can even send filters, which can be really cool. So you could with a hotkey, or maybe from a row, you select an album, and that album would instantly get filtered in the library list or something like that. But today we're just gonna use some common things here, and the most common options you want to send, or commands, they have special options like this. So U here, -U, CMOS remote -U, that will toggle pause. We will also use next -N to skip forward in the playlist. Maybe we should use the long options even. It's better. It's actually preferred to do that. And I'm thinking if I'm gonna rewrite most of my scripts to add the long options like this, because it makes it much more readable in scripts. It's of course longer to write on the command line, but in a script file it doesn't really matter. And you can do some other things. But if you want to send any other command, then you use capital C, and then you can send any command here. Let's see if we can see an example. Yeah, here you see C set repeat and stuff. You can send any command. You can also, I think this set repeat question mark here, that will print the setting. So you can also get settings and state of CMOS with this CMOS remote. Very, very, very good and very easy to use. So --pause, --next, and --prev. That's the commands we're gonna set up now in our i3 config file. And now I would like to take a minute to talk a little bit about which keys to dedicate to media control here, because I have been trying so many things, and I have setting up global keys. That is an art. It is like or it's a martial art almost. You know, kung fu, keyboard kung fu, keyboard ninja, whatever. Let me just have some coffee. This is an image of a US keyboard. I'm not going to talk how my keyboard looks like. It's not exactly a US keyboard, but it doesn't matter. I like to have my media keys on these guys, at the far right, and most of the keys are often, you know, it's volume plus or minus, it's next or previous track, or maybe seek forward, seek backwards, and stuff like that. So and I also have brightness plus minus, so I have all those plus minus things at the far right here, and then I have a couple of more media related on the last ones. The ones I have now is skip, next, skip previous or seek on these buttons depending on which modifiers I use. And then these two are volume to raise the volume. If I hold the mod and shift, then it modifies the volume of the input, the microphone. But without shift, it is the output, the speakers or headphones or whatever. And I like to set my volume only globally. I never adjust the volume in CMOS like this or MPV. And then mod and slash, which is located here. That is what I use as a play pause toggle. And this period, that's where I like to have mute toggle. So I mute and then I also mute the global output source, not muting MPD itself or CMOS or MPV or whatever. And shift mod key, that is mute microphone. So it's, for me, it has become very, very logical to have, and I know it's the far most right keys are controlling this, and it's very, very fast to get used to this. It's I have found it really nice. The problem with having these keys is that all of them have strange names. You know, these are brackets and the braces, and there are slash, and setting those keys in i3. You need to name the keys. Let's see, I have my medias here. So they are named something. It's not the strangest names in the world on them. It's like bracket left and the minus equal here you can see. But here we can see quote double, that's double quotes, bar and stuff like that. It can be hard to know what the names are. And another thing is that yeah, this is skip, bracket left, that is without the shift key. But when, if you would like to add shift to this same key, then you write it like this, brace left, because you know shift and bracket, that is a brace. Or a curly bracelet, or whatever they call them. So then you need to write mod and shift, and this can be really tricky to know how to write these. So, of course, I have written a script for us to make this easier. I call that script get keys, and I will link it in the show notes. It has been available all the time on my GitHub. I have just never shown anyone. And what it does is that it parses the output of xev, which is a program that, if you have ever tried to set these keys, you have probably stumbled upon some forum thread or something. To get the names of the keys, you run xev. And when you do, you get this strange window. And you click here, nothing happens. You press some keys, and let's press these bracket keys here, for example. And you're like, what is this? You close the window, and then you see your output here is full of noise. But here we can see the brackets, and it is not noise, of course. It's a lot of information about your keyboard, about the key codes and stuff, but you basically just wanted to know the bracket, and you actually don't want to know this, because some of these symbols, maybe you can actually write the bracket itself, but it's safer with the special symbols to write the name of the key, and that is what you want. So I made a script, get keys here, clear get keys, plural. And now if I hit bracket here, it will print the name of the keys. And it works for anything. So it's really easy to find the name of the keys and stuff. So the keys we want now is brackets, bracket left and right, and also slash. I think we're fine there. But this is a very handy little tool that you are free to use if you need to find the name of your keys quickly. And it's a very, very small script. I can show you get keys. Here, this is all it does. Very simple, just a little AWK magic on that output and it becomes readable. So let's go back to the i3 config, and as I told you, I know this is bracket left, this is bracket right, and this is slash. This I want previous on bracket left, I want next on bracket right, and I want pause on slash with the mod key hold down, of course. So I have prepared these key bindings also. Or not really. So there, and instead of writing D here, we write bracket left. And that will execute without any startup ID, CMOS remote, and prep. And then we do the same for bracket right, which will be next. And we make one for the slash. You see, same here, I use variables, much shorter, much more readable in my opinion, commands, and you don't need, you don't get this noise that you have to write every single time. And mod 4 is god damn it, slash. Okay. You see, I have disabled arrow keys in Sublime because I'm forcing myself now to really learn the VI bindings. I want to go all in Vim here, or VI bindings, and then I see maybe I go and switch editor for a while at least to maybe Vim or maybe something else. I would really like to start using something else, but we'll see. But I'm starting with this just to really learn these keys. I have disabled the arrow keys. Now, if you save here, activate CMOS, and we can go to the library view, and then just play a song here. Did I reload i3? God damn it. Let's quit it and open it again. For some reason it pops out like that, but it's not every time. But I play a song. If I hit mod 4 and the bracket right, it switches songs. You can see the it can be hard to see the highlight here, but it's this black text here. Now I'm going back, and you can also see the status changes, and slash it toggles, and you can see down at the bottom right corner which keys I'm pressing. So now we have set up a good little CMOS setup here without any customizations, but we got everything going that we need to start building the title. But we'll do that in the next video. There we will look, we will create the polybar hook module and see how to display and activate that on player change, and that is also very nicely done in CMOS, and very highly customizable. So I hope I see you in the next video. So we'll do that, and then we see how far we get. If we, maybe the next video we might even be able to add the MPV stuff and make the full thing going. We'll see, but I think this will be 3 videos. I really try to keep them around 30 minutes tops, these videos. So at least we end this here, and I think I covered most of the things. Everything that you would need will be available on GitHub, but it's basically no scripts today, so it will be this readme file. You can also see it on my homepage, and it is also the same information that you can see here is in the show notes on YouTube. So I say thank you for watching, and I hope I see you in the next episode where we make the little hook module. Have a great day, everybody. Bye bye.